New Windlace. We just got finished putting that in on the driver's side and the passenger side today. That's what we did this weekend. Put new Windlace from Sedan interior kit on our 56 Bel Air. If you're interested in seeing how we got this done this weekend, stay tuned. Hey, welcome to Restoring Christine. Bill here. Christine, we're on the interior! Woohoo! Wow! 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 Okay, finally. I did all my upholstery. I did the seat covers, did the front seat, the back seat. It came out beautiful, and I did that a few months back. I mean, shoot, that's maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I did that, and now it's about time to get ready to put that in. So the last things that we need to do before we put the seats in is we need to get the Windlace, the headliner, and the carpet. So that's what I'm working on right now, is the Windlace. The last episode that I did was I showed you about the tack strip that goes around the door, around the windshield, around the back glass. Showed you where that goes, how it goes in. I've looked at the instruction manual for the Windlace, and surprisingly, it barely mentions any of those tack strips. Go figure. So what I'm doing right now is this Windlace. There's two pieces right here. There's one for the driver's side and one for the passenger side, and there's a reason why it's all tangled up. Okay, so let me show you. The Windlace goes from that corner up the door jamb, around the A-pillar, comes around here, the bottom of the top sill, goes around all the way down the back jamb, down, and it terminates here. So the two ends run wild, and they go underneath the body by Fisher closure plate, and that goes on after the carpet. But I'm trying to get this Windlace in right now because there's some hardware that goes with it. So the first piece is a piece that goes around here in a jamb. You're going to find that there's a piece that's of sheet metal that is a channel that welting goes into. So one of the things I need to do in order to get this Windlace in is I got these Windlace retainers that go on the front of the door jamb, and I got two new ones. Mine were corroded pretty badly at one of the two ends. I don't even remember which, but instead of repairing them, I bought new ones, but they need to be painted the red, and this is GM's Pull Me Over red in a single stage. Then I also have a couple of pieces that I never did put back in the car. These are brand new. These are they go on the same door jamb, and they direct the water away from the interior. But those two gutters are I need to paint red. And then also when I put in my my windshield wiper kit, I put in a rain gear windshield wiper kit, and this is the blank that dummies off the front on the firewall. So I need to paint these 5 pieces red, and that's what I'm getting ready to do now. And that channel looks like this. This is a brand new one. Christine had rot down at the bottom. I'm sure you might as well have it too, but it was rotted down at the bottom, and mine was eaten alive. So this is the one for the passenger side. You can see the shape. So the shape, it goes from the bottom of the quarter window, the vent window, and then it goes around all the way down to the bottom of the sill down there. So the Windlace from the bottom of the door, so we're going to start, this is the passenger side. So this is what starts at the forward part of the door jamb. So this is by your feet. And then it goes up through that channel, and then it's got a closure piece of vinyl, and then it hits to the point it gets to the point where it's now at the dash, and then once it clears the dash, then it goes all the way around the door. And you can see this one has this cardboard backing, but it goes all the way around the door, and then the cardboard backing stops, and then it's cloth again. And I think this cardboard backing, I think what's going to have to happen is when I get to my 90-degree bends, I think I'm going to have to cut some reliefs into this. So let me show you what the book shows. This is the Fisher Body assembly manual for upholstery and trim, and it's the 600 series of drawings that shows the Windlace, but not the 600 series. 600 shows the carpet. Here's a headliner. Here's a Windlace. 400 series. All right. So now, this is, let's see, there's different body styles. So I need to find the one that is for Christine. This is a 1011. So Christine's a 1011D. But this is the drawing. And I promise you, if you can make heads or tails of this thing, I can read drawings. But I mean, it's like, it doesn't show, it only shows like, it shows stapling and the tack strip in a part. But then it shows it jamming it underneath a sawtooth little finger plate that goes on the top. And I know you've got to staple it because it's the headliner can't staple to this. So there's a piece of hardware that looks like this. And that's above the door. So it's got these little teeth that grab the headliner. And they don't tell you to staple it, but I know that there's a tack strip up there, so we've got to be stapling something. But anyway, this drawing isn't worth a hill of beans. It's just not. So I mean, I tried to rely on it, but I couldn't rely on it for much. So this Windlace, you can see, is that silky, friable material. It's very easy to fray, and it's got a pretty little seam that'll fool you, and you'll say, "Oh yeah, well okay, it's robust." No. You cut it, and it's going to look like this, and it's going to completely unravel. And I'll tell you how I know that, because I was trying to slide it into this channel. I was trying to slide it into that groove, and as I did, it was like too much. So I trimmed it. I trimmed some fabric back, and as I trimmed it back, I trimmed off some, and it just started to come apart. So I ended up taking my lighter, and I singed the end of it after I cut it. Now this one's uncut. I haven't touched this one yet. I'm going to try to see if I can't get this in by itself, but let me get the other side of it. The other side has a piping. It has a welt. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at this, trying to get this welt here and get that into this groove. So you would think that you'd be able to slide it, but like I said, I was not able to do it. I was not able to do it. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to take a screwdriver and I'm going to pry open that groove. And I tried that, and it didn't work. Then it wouldn't stay. So what we ended up doing, was we pried it with the screwdriver and got it to where it was comfortable to get in. And I had to delicately fold over that bit of fabric and get that piping in there and gently push it in with a screwdriver, because it's very easy to fray that fabric. And then I used a pair of Pittsburgh welding pliers, which is the vice grip that has the two, it looks like the, triangular teeth or something like that. So anyway, I used that and I repinched the channel around it, but it took 4 hands to do it, and it took us maybe 45 minutes to do the whole thing, and that's 45 minutes after fumbling with it for maybe an hour and a half. So now let's try to get this one in on this driver's side. Now I'm going to get my staple gun. I'm going to screw in the channel. We'll screw that in, and then we're going to take a staple, going to go all the way around, and I'll probably have to cut some reliefs on the corner like I just said. So here we go. So there are, at least on Christine, there were 3 screws that were holding this in, and that's what I'm going to aim to put back. I'm going to put those back in. See the 3 screws that went in, and they were I had this thing in and then out and then in and then out, because I was trying 20 different ways to get this done. And it's just the sad reality, man. Things just don't always cooperate. This, I thought for sure I was only gonna be doing this for a couple of hours. At most. And nope. I've been at it half the day. and I really don't have any progress to show for it. I apologize, I'm a bit frustrated right now, but all right, I want to show you where that vinyl goes. So the vinyl is a strip, and it's supposed to be infill alongside your dash. So what I did is I put an equal lengths past where this holds in the kick panel. So where the kick panel piece ends, that's where the dash starts. So I made sure that this is a little bit behind that. And if I have to trim it later on, I'll trim it with an X-Acto knife. But all this does is this whole thing just folds underneath here. It doesn't really tack to anything. It just kind of like shoves in there, and it goes all the way from the bottom of the dash to the top of the dash. And what I also have is my garnish molding. So my garnish molding is going to go here. So right there you can see where the Windlace comes up. The vinyl just needs to keep following this and it'll hide. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to shove that vinyl in here. Let's see if I can't get this set up so that we can see it. Alright, so I've got a small little scratch awl that I'm going to use. I'm going to see if I can't get this tucked in there. I might have to trim it, but right now I've got plenty of length. But we're going to just see if we can't get this in here. So I don't know. It's going to take a little bit of finagling. Shove it in there, but it shouldn't be too bad. I don't know what that's going to look like when it's done, but this is what we're doing. And it came out like that. So that's just shoved in, and I'm sure over time I'll be able to, when I do my kick panels, I might pull that out again and maybe trim that, but I'm gonna wait for my kick panels to come in before I really dress that. So now the rest of the way, what I've got to do now is, you see I've got this cardboard strip. It needs to be tacked along that tack strip all the way up. So to do that, I've got my handy dandy Harbor Freight stapler, pneumatic stapler, and this is a relatively new model. This is a Banks. The old Central Pneumatic, I used to have one of those. It didn't have the safety, but this one's got the safety. It's got the little don't shoot staples randomly without pressing it down onto a surface trigger. So now what I need to do is I need to go ahead and staple this up this vertical leg, but then I need to plan for this turn, and that cardboard is stiff, so I'm probably gonna have to cut some reliefs in it. And man, this gun is hard to get in this corner. It does not want to get in here. It does not. Thank goodness it's a very loose piece of trim. And if it doesn't come out right, we can always take it out and redo it. I do not want this thing coming loose. Oh, that's looking nice. Yeah, the installation manual doesn't say anything about this tack strip, or it says very little about it. Very little. All right. So now I guess I need to cut some reliefs in this to make this turn, because it's going to want to fold over flat. So how am I going to do that without destroying the Windlace? Let me get something to trim it with. This stuff is so tight, I decided to go ahead and use some snips. And that ought to do it. Yeah, like that. So I need a few reliefs like this as I'm coming up. Being careful not to break the thread. But yeah. Alright, now I ought to roll. Look at that. There you go. I put them about 1.25 inches or so apart. And boy, you got to be careful with this Windlace. It is that silk fabric is so friable. I mean, it's so easy to just ravel, unravel. Oh yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Make sure I got good coverage on the corner here. So it's a brand new tack strip. If you haven't seen that episode, that was the very last one I did. It's Bob Drake tack strip combined with a kit. So now, one of the things that it doesn't say to do is it doesn't say to do staples up in here, but it's got a tack strip. It doesn't say to do staples over here, but it has a tack strip. So it's got to be for something. Let me show it to you up in the other angle. So this is what it's looking like. So that's the channel. The channel more or less holds it where it's going, and you notice the channel, look, that's the channel looking at us right there. So this offset right here, that's just the way that this is. I can't pinch that back anymore, but I tugged and pulled this windlace. This windlace is really tight going back in the other direction. So I don't know what it's going to do on the door, but it looks like I can probably bring this to where this is just right at the edge. Right at the edge. Alright, so now I need to continue walking this all the way along this ledge. Okay. I'm bringing it as low down as I can here. With that cardboard strip. Give me something really good to tack to. Now the headliner, where there's going to be that cover strip, and then the headliner is going to shove into that. That looks good. I can see it. I can see it. Keep on walking it. All right. So now I'm noticing it's like the cardboard stops here. And I guess it's because of the weight hanging on it. So I'm like Clark Griswold here, stapling his lights to his roof. Vader, yeah. Boy, these, I've got long staples and these are shallow cuts. I need to change and go to shorter staples for these. These are starting to bang and hit the back of the door. Let me change them and come back. All right, I had 1/2 inch. I wish I had 3/8, but now I've got 1/4. So, yeah, let's resample that. Much better. Much better. So that I'm going to trim when I get my sill plate in after I do my carpet, but you can see all the staples up the side, all the way up. And that's where I cut my relief in here, and the fabric was kind of bunching, but at least the cardboard we were cutting, so I'm okay with that. Might be a little too close. All the way around. All the way around. Let's go look and see what it looks like on the outside. So, from the bottom, all the way around. Yeah, I wish that fit better, but that's the little channel. I might be able to take a screwdriver or something and pry that and push that back. I don't know. And then that's where that thing just mounted. So what does it do when I close the door? What does it do when I close the door? I can't see it. I can't see it. All right, let's go inside and see. well, there's gonna be some trim or something over here. So all the trim, that's the thing, is a door trim. And I can't imagine, that's a big gap. But maybe that's the way it is. I don't know. We're on our way. So now what I need to do, once I stop sweating, I need to go inside and go do the other one, and we can staple this passenger side up. So I'm gonna be a little bit putting that on, but here I go. Let's take a look at the passenger side now. I've got it inserted into the channel, and this is really difficult to do. I mean, it was a pain in the foot, but it's all the way in, and you can see the top part's got that cardboard, and that goes all the way around to this point, and then after that it's just cloth. It's cloth the rest of the way. And that piping I believe is like to right here. So the piping comes out and it stops somewhere over here, because you don't really need it past the vinyl. You see where the vinyl is, so the vinyl is gonna fold into the dash. But that 3 layers of thickness, if not 4, is really difficult to get in that little teeny tiny channel. That channel really could be a little bit bigger. But we're gonna go ahead and now try to get this one inserted into the passenger side. All right, starting to get it in. I got it screwed. The channel is screwed in. The vinyl is tucked. It's tucked all the way around here. I'm hoping that my my garnish molding covers that really well, but if not, I'll just tune that with an X-Acto knife. But I've got staples all the way up in the tack strip to here, and then I'm working my way across. So then I'm going to come down this leg and then end it down there, but then that's going to be it. And then we finish this, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. All right, we got it done. All the way up through the channel. The vinyl's tucked there along the dash. Comes along here. It's stapled all into the tack strip, all along the front A-pillar. I had to cut the relief in the cardboard to make the turn. All the way along the top. And then again cutting relief to make the turn. Stapled all the way along the jamb of the door. Let's see what it looks like from the outside. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I got a little bit of touch up and a little bit of clean up to do on a few different things, but yeah, clean up here. So a little primer from the ceiling is what that is. And look, it just looks good around the corners. Looks nice. So coming back to the driver's side, I just took the hammer and a screwdriver and I pushed it on there, and I pushed that in, and it got this looking a lot better. There you go. But there's the driver's side. Looks really good all the way around. Passenger's done. Driver's side's done. Stuff's in the way. But that's gonna do it. Do hope you got something out of this video. I hope you liked, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you're enjoying my channel, I'd love a subscription. So until I see you next time, we're going to continue on this interior. The headliner is next. Take care of yourself. Cheers.